So it took me a while to see the meme and get the story and kind of get the understanding of it. And even after I did, I still sort of scratched my head and was like, what the hell? But this meme right here apparently got this kid right here kicked out of the States. Here comes from the robot editor. We definitely will commentate on this one. This is what the robot editor tells us are the facts. Norwegian tourist Mads Mikkelsen, who was 21 years old, says that U.S. immigration officers at Newark Airport denied him entry after they found a meme mocking Vice President J.D. Vance on his phone. Newark has enough problems as it is. They're also now the head of deportation, apparently. He, Mads Mikkelsen, says that officials interrogated him about terrorism, drug trafficking, and confiscated his belongings, forced him to open up his cell phone and took fingerprints and blood samples, and threatened a $5,000 fine or jail because the phone was locked and he wasn't going to lock it up first. Now, Customs and Border Protection and DHS strongly reject the meme as a trigger. Basically, they said it's not the fault. It's because he talked about drug use, which he said, well, he had a picture of a pipe and said some things in the interview, but wasn't quite sure why he was pulled aside for this actual interview. And it was basically common grounds for something going forward. But it happened. Not political content, says DHS. It is because he did drugs somewhere. And maybe there's a picture of a pipe on his phone. The episode adds to the string of recent reports of travelers held or refused entry for political content or minor drug emissions. Since President Donald Trump took back to office, the border agents have been, of course, ramped up to searches of phones and social media to figure out if these people coming in have good intentions for us, U.S. here. Several nations, which include China, Denmark, and Finland, have issued travel advisories in response to the rising complaints about evasive screening. Essentially, be prepared to be put back on a plane and go home because something may happen. The border inspectors are empowered to do more strict law enforcement, which is great and includes drug-related emissions. The fentanyl thing, it's great. They can pick up people and doing things that are bad. The problem is, it seems like overreach. It seems like it's a bit draconian. And the public denial by CBP and DHS on this one here, and others as well, help to clarify the policy and discourage misinformation about political censorship. Essentially, they're saying it's not true, but they did send them back. He's saying, oh, it's true, and it's because that cabbage patch baby face right there. Trust me, I can do much further in my life without seeing that thing again, but apparently I will be because this is the newest weird meme of J.D. Vance, and so we're talking about it here. The conflicting narratives are bad. Was it a meme? Was it drug use? Because what we have overall is not so much distrust of the Donald Trump administration, but distrust of the government agencies in total. So whether you believe your law enforcement or not, in many cases people have reasons to not believe them. This is an issue where you tell a story and you don't believe them. Why would you believe them if they needed something from you? And more importantly, why would you want to work and cooperate when they say they want something that's against you? Heavy social screening may chill travelers from visiting the United States, but there are other things going back and forth. There is a broader spotlight on a struggle for the U.S. to balance strict immigration control, and they're doing it for many reasons, civil liberties included, the protests that were on campus last summer and some that are sort of sparking up now about Israel, Hamas, Palestine being a pretty big deal and more of a distraction, if you will, to the other issues going on, but something to worry about versus, other things to worry about. Should we be checking people's phones for stuff, memes, to be specific, exact, specific? Your word, your count, your comments in the comments.